Sheets obviously is going to be in and out for a little while. So here I am, and we're going to talk about this slate, which just keeps getting weirder and weirder. So I'm still waiting for the Knicks information to update without Jalen Brunson. That's obviously a very big piece of news. We have Paolo out. You know, we've had some stuff since the early part of the day. So I'm trying to figure out exactly what I want to do with it. We also still do have Zion and McCollum questionable. So a lot of stuff going on. Hartenstein and Brunson out. Yeah, like we're not going to answer any questions about the Knicks for at least 5 minutes. Okay. That's just the need at least some sort of a projection to update, some idea of what's happening. And honestly, it'd be nice to know who's starting, but we may not have that as quickly as we want. All right, so let's talk about like what else we're doing tonight. Obviously, DeJounte Murray for me, for those of you who remember, know that I have him on near lock status, not quite fully locked, but pretty close. That's one of the main plays. I think Wendell Carter is on both sites, but especially, I like him on both sites actually. I think Wendell Carter is actually being under-owned a little bit. I think he should be extremely high owned tonight. I love Wendell Carter. I think it's a boost for everybody over there. I'm also going to have some exposure to Franz Wagner, but mostly it's Wendell Carter for me with that situation. I'm not sharing my screen, am I? Let me share my screen. And guys, please click the like button and all that stuff. Here we go. My thoughts on Moody are that he's not going to play very much. Chris Paul is back. I think people made a big mistake when they started, like the early projections today were just way, way off. And I called it right away. I said, this Golden State projections just are ridiculous. They made no sense. And they were acting like Chris Paul wasn't here anymore. Chris Paul on no minutes limit with Clay coming off the bench, which is why Moody's starting. I am not going to be playing Moses Moody personally. And I just think that they're, especially now with what we have with the Knicks and the other stuff out there, I actually think I'd rather play Caleb Houston than Moses Moody personally. So that's where I'm at on the Moody thing. Okay, so here's what we got. You see right now the updated value, but again, it's going to change a little bit once we get some more clarification on the Knicks. I think this Moody projection is too high. I am currently not planning to play him. I'm not going to say I don't end up with one share of him or something, but I personally think it's a little fishy. I don't see him playing all that much. It's like one of those things where maybe you get lucky, he hits a few threes early or something, a couple threes early. But I personally am on the side of mostly probably fading the Moody situation and just going through the list of the players. Like I'll be overweight Kyle Anderson. Actually, 37%. I'll probably be near the field on Kyle Anderson. I'll be a little bit below on Shamet, but I'll still have some exposure. Be a little bit below on Kispert, but I'll have some exposure. I'll be a little bit below on Vooch. No, actually with Vooch, I'll be right near the field probably. I'll be well above on Carter, above on Kuzma. I'm going to be on Jaden McDaniels. I'll be below on DraftKings, above on FanDuel. DeJounte Murray, I'll be significantly above. I'll be above probably on Caleb Houston. But again, it's just a matter of I can probably get more minutes out of him than I can Moody. And I mean, even though he's not very productive, neither is Moody. So it's a tough one there. I currently am below Cam Johnson on DraftKings, higher on FanDuel. I am above on Schroeder right now, which feels weird at this ownership, but I actually think this game could stay more competitive now. It is the back-to-back, so it's a little worrisome. I actually think that you can get a creative play as Dennis Smith Jr. for your maybe the 150 maxers out there. I have some exposure to DeRozan and White. I'm not treating them as must-plays by any means. I am above the field right now on DraftKings and Edwards, below on FanDuel. I was above on Hendricks. I'm probably going to end up being right around 10%, probably be a little bit higher. Definitely be above the field on Naz Reid. I'm currently below the field on Bagley, and just sort of going through. Let me sort by ownership here. I'm currently below the field on Desonmu, but I have no issue with the play. I just feel like the Bulls are a little bit over projected, and it feels like it could be any of those guys. But I do like Desonmu the best for what it's worth because the value. Bogdanovich, I'm above. I'm looking at who else I haven't said. I'm below on Caruso right now, but I do have some. I'm below on Porzingis, although I don't mind it. I'm below on Gary Payton. If that, okay, let's go to the flagship because Goldies hasn't been updated yet. Who else do we have in here? I'm trying to look. Let's see. Yeah, that's pretty much all of the main. I don't have any Giannis currently, but I think it's easier to get to those plays now if you want to. I do like Jared Allen, but didn't get to him much in my builds because of Gobert, Vucevic, Carter, Kuzma center eligible. I just didn't get to him much. That's no other way of saying it. Don't really have any Suggs right now. I never mind it, but I don't have it right now. I like Markkanen, have a little bit. We're probably right near the field, maybe a little bit more. And I'm above on Wagner. So those are my main plays. And I am, as I said earlier, I am absolutely going to play Jordan Poole tonight. I do not care about any of these things. I am going to play Jordan Poole. I'm just going to say a quick thing. So Jordan Poole, when he was back, now he's been playing more minutes and he's been shooting well off the bench and he's been playing more. So, and we have no Avdia. But even with skip all that, the one time he's played the Warriors in Golden State, he tied for his second most shots and his most shots per minute since he's been in Washington. That should tell you something, okay? I do think he cares about that kind of stuff. I also think that he's playing better. So maybe you get that I actually don't even feel like it's that huge of a gamble of a play. I really like the Jordan Poole play. It might look like an idiot later, but I am going to do it. Simple as that. There's revenge all over the place in this slate, and that's sort of like I didn't narratively put it into my lineup, but they just sort of ended up building out that way. I love John Collins, who no one's really talking about. John Collins has been on an incredible kick, and they've been starting him at the 5. When he starts at the 5, he's a monster, and he's playing against a bad defensive Atlanta team, and it's his former team, and it's in Atlanta. It all suits up for John Collins to have a nice day. So these are some other names that I'm playing there. I definitely like getting exposure mixed around. Everybody's going to play the Anderson thing from Minnesota. I like getting a little bit of exposure to Naz Reid. I think that's the way that I'm trying to go, at least as of right now. So pop in questions and thoughts. I'm going to rerun the projections here and see if we get any Knicks update. Doesn't seem like we have yet. It's probably going to be hard to project without having a starting lineup. But I just feel like we're supposed to be playing these guys today. And they're definitely not updated projection-wise. I don't know which one. I think DiVincenzo, Hart, and Precious are the three that stand out. But I think then you're going to see McBride and Burks pop up quite a bit. Where Bogdanovich is cheaper, I think he's still cheap on FanDuel. Let me just double check the Bogdanovich thing. Wrong Bogdanovich. Yeah, it could be a double Bogdanovich night. He may end up starting, by the way. Yeah, 56 on FanDuel. I think that's where I would probably utilize him, even though he's a better DraftKings player in general. I'm with you, Brendan. I like that Hawks Jazz game too. And again, I'm using the little bit lower owned guys, the John Collins at sub 10% ownership. I think that's a really, really good play. And it also, just narrative aside, I think it's a good play. But throw the narrative at it. Yeah, let's go. They gave up on him for the other guy. I actually like the other guy, Jalen Johnson, who is also not going to get an overwhelming amount of ownership. In that game, I also like Lauri Markkanen. I think this is a good game just to be over for you multi-enterers to be overweight the field on most spots. I am not going to be. I mean, look, they're just all too low owned. But I usually don't like playing the Utah with the giant rotations and everything like that. They've been a little bit tighter lately, and it's Atlanta. It's such a premium matchup. It's hard for me to ignore it. Yes, I'm in on Kuzma, as I mentioned already, MJ. I'm very, very high on Kuzma, and I'm very, very high on in my first big buy-in, my first build, I put Kuzma and Poole in there. So that should tell you that I'm pretty high on both of them. And it's weird to play them both together, but I am going to do it. I really like the Poole play. Look, you can at me if you want. We all know what I'm getting myself into by playing him. I have no problem with it, and I'm going to do it. I also think Tyus Jones is in play in that game. Again, I don't want to add to make things. That's the problem I'm having a little bit on this slate. There's just so many good plays. It feels like a night where your 6X may not be good enough where some of the 7X guys may end up hitting there. That's exactly right, Brendan. Brendan just said it. Exactly what I was saying. I love it, OG. Let's get Poole. Let's get that 50. Let's get it. What else do we have here? I do have a couple Mitchell Irving lineups, as K9's asking me about right now. I went for it a couple times. I'm going to take some gambles. I I like the matchup for Mitchell, and I like the Irving back in Cleveland combined with his price on DraftKings. I think that he's really interesting. Yeah, as I said, Mark, at the beginning of the show, I'm not going to talk about the Knicks yet. I'm waiting for the projections to update. Z Williams is amazing. I don't know what that means. Zion. I don't know what that is. Thanks a lot. Point blank ENT, like entertainment, I guess. I really appreciate that. Yeah, thoughts with Sheets for sure. Right now, McCollum out official. I didn't even see that yet. Okay, so there we go. But Zion Williamson will play. Okay, there we go. That's what it is. I went through my Washington stuff, so I'm trying to catch up here, guys. I love that there's so much chatter because it's great. I just sometimes need a minute to catch up. So Zion being out, let's think about what that's gonna. We're going. Yeah, that's what it is. OG, it was my bad. I mean, it was hard for me to get there because I didn't see the news. Must have come. Yeah, there it is. Right as 3 minutes ago, right as I was going through my little spiel. So. All right, so that makes this game is getting a little bit more interesting by the minute. I think Brandon Ingram is the easiest answer. And then I am curious who they start. I really am. I don't know who they're going to start. I'm going to see let's see what RotoWire has for the projected starting lineup. All right, I'm just going to try to figure this one out. Yeah, they got Murphy, who I don't mind at all. I think I do like Ingram, and it makes that game a little bit, whether it's McBride or Burks or, one of those guys possibly with either DiVincenzo, Hart, and maybe Precious. I don't think Sims is actually going to end up starting. My guess is they start Bogdanovich, but I'm not sure. So we'll see. Hawkins would be an interesting one to start. I don't think they like the idea of starting him when they have most of their roster healthy, for what it's worth. He is a gunner, but he's a wild card, and I think they'd rather play their Trey Murphy unless they want to keep him in his role off the bench. So maybe they do start Hawkins. Either way, I'm probably not going to end up getting to it. That's just my current plan anyway. Let's see if we have any news on the Knicks, and we don't have a starting lineup, and we're probably not going to before lock, just knowing how these things work. And for some reason, we're getting absolutely no updated projections here on the Knicks. I don't understand this. It's been way too long for that to be the case. A little bit frustrating, but we will definitely have one soon. All right, let me just go over and see if for any reason, somehow on FanDuel, they updated any of the Knicks. All right. No. Okay. All right. So guys, SS, let's get the Knicks stuff updated. We can address it then. I'm just curious how because it changes every projection thing. It's a tough one. We haven't seen this without Brunson, without Hartenstein. Obviously, they're already missing Mitch Rob and Randall. It's a totally different Knicks team than we've ever seen, really. All right. Good to hear, Jolly. I hope you get there as well. By the way, Zion is in, and he's a pretty good play. I think both Zion and Ingram are pretty interesting, but neither are fall into where you must play them. I think if there was one that I had to pick, it would be Ingram, but I have no issue if it's Zion. It's hard to know with those guys whose night it's going to be. All right. So without updating the next step, I went through all my stuff. I went through where I'm at currently. Because it's all about to change. Usually I like to just show it to the members. But I will show my exposure. I wish I could just show part of the screen. So here's my exposures right now. They're going to change shortly, but just to give a quick look. And before I get in trouble with DraftKings, I'm going to get this out of here. All right. So anyway, yeah, I'm going to end up changing all that. That's a whole separate thing. I'm going to end up changing all of my builds and everything. So thought I'd give you an idea of where I'm at right now, but I am waiting to see how this Knicks thing, and I'm debating. I still feel very fishy about this Moody thing. I mean, anytime you get a 3K guy starting who's projecting the best point per dollar on the slate, it's kind of a weird thing just to say, oh, I'm just not going to play it. But I just don't know how he gets the minutes and production, because it doesn't matter to me that he's starting. There's no extra minutes for him. There's actually less because Chris Paul's back. Like, I mean, well, it's probably the same because Chris Paul and Wiggins will play the same amount of minutes roughly. So it's really not as much of a boost. Like, again, he's going to start to have an opportunity to hit a couple shots early, and he'll probably start the second half. But I don't know, man. Like, it feels like this guy might play 2 rotations just based on how many guys they have on the bench. So I'm not quite there. That's a good question, Brendan. I don't know if I would qualify it as mid-tier. I like these 4K, 5K plays, so I guess that would qualify as close enough to mid-tier. I like the Carter play a lot. But DeJounte is probably, I'm just looking through who I'm spending up on. I like the idea of getting to a low-owned Luka. I didn't quite get there. I like the idea of getting to Giannis, I think will be a little bit more popular. I just didn't get there yet. I love the idea of getting to Wembanyama. I just haven't gotten there. All of these guys, I have no issue getting to. I do have some Mitchell, and I do have some Mitchell, I have some Edwards, Murray, some Maxey, some Kyrie. But those are the main spend ups I'm looking at today, personally. So it's really that 9K to 8,700 range is really where I'm at. I want to wait for the Knicks thing, and then we're going to do a Sabre build. But I'm going to get out of here at 6:30 Eastern so I can finish my builds. I want to, again, please ask you guys to click the like button. We love doing these videos. We love it. We appreciate being able to still do them for free. Hopefully my partner in crime, Sheets, will be back with me shortly. Just wishing for the best. And let's see if we've gotten the Knicks update yet. Let's see. All right, guys, let's do something. Like, come on, there we go. So it looks like McBride is the one who stands out the most, assuming that he starts. I think that both he and Burks are, I probably would just pick one of them and play them. And honestly, even if Burks doesn't start, I think he's totally in play. This projection on Jericho Sims is assuming that he starts. I'm not going to play Jericho Sims tonight either way. Josh Hart and DiVincenzo, in my opinion, are being underprojected, as is Precious at the moment. So that's where I would be looking. I would probably one of McBride or Burks, one of Hart or DiVincenzo. I think DiVincenzo is the more natural guy, but Josh Hart, look at his assist games. He's had some huge assist games this season, so it's not too bad. Favorite Hawk in the 5 to 6K range? I don't have any Hawks in the 5 to 6K range. Look, I'm not going to criticize you for playing DeAndre Hunter. There's nothing wrong with it. I don't see why I have to play a 5 to 6K Hawk. Yeah, I don't. That does. I'm correct. I do not think I need to play a 5 to 6K Hawk, so I have 0. Mo Wagner. Oh boy, interesting. I think that's an interesting large field tournament play. I don't think the likelihood of success is probably where you'd want it to be, but I like the idea, and I think that it's like one of those things where if you have a really chalky build and you use that play instead of a Shamet at 42, instead of a Kispert at 45, yeah, I can get behind it. It's not what I'm doing, but I definitely can get behind the thinking with it. Good question there, Triple J, or whoever that was. No, that was a Jolly. Good question. Is Houston playable? Yeah, I think Houston is playable. I don't love it, but one thing I want to point out about the Houston minutes is they don't have Batatse tonight, which is why he's starting. Batatse took the starting spot before when Banchero missed, and I think that's why he's starting. So you look at the other bodies, Cole Anthony will get minutes off the bench for sure, but those are going to be taken away from Gary Harris and Jalen Suggs also. Then you've got the Wagner, Ingles, and Fultz situation. And Black. It's kind of crowded a little bit, but if he plays well, it's really going to depend on how his shifts go, right? Like if he plays well, if they're doing well, it doesn't feel great. It feels a little bit like the what's his name play? The Moses Moody play. So I'm not crazy about it, but I definitely can get behind it. I do think that one of McBride or Burks definitely makes sense. You get a starting ball handler. It's not a bad matchup either. And I think you want to go there. I do want to see if they also updated the New Orleans projections, because this game is, there they go. The Trey Murphy now looking like a very strong play too at 5,500. So it's a nice natural run back. Interestingly, Zion's projection jumped more than Ingram's. I'm kind of surprised by that because as a ball handler, you'd think that Ingram would get the boost without CJ in there. But Trey Murphy's a kind of a quick trigger guy, so it's not like you're getting less usage, but it's not like as much less as it would be if they started a guy like Matt Ryan, just for argument's sake. So I was originally going to play Schroeder. I think that by the time we're done with this, I'm going to end up with very little of him just because of all these other plays. I think McBride is a better play than Schroeder if he starts, but I still don't mind the Schroeder play at all. I'm going to leave him in a few of mine. It just won't be in my biggest buy-in. I think Cam Johnson also, speaking of which, is completely in play as well. Would like a starting lineup from Brooklyn. Before I confirm that, let's take a quick look at the starting lineups and see what we got. I don't think we have Brooklyn's. Yeah, still no Brooklyn. Okay. All right. So let's do something else here. Let's run a SaberSim build. And you guys get to say which tournament I run the build for. So whoever says it first, get in there. I do like Jalen Johnson. There's just so many. The problem is with asking if I like plays today, I like 60 plays today. So I like too many things. I like Jalen Johnson. I currently don't have any Jalen Johnson. I want to force him in, but I haven't found the way to yet. All right. So OG wants the 888. Let's, just so we have a few options. Let's see what happens if they give us 3 lineups. We'll do the 888. I think I did that one already. Let's make sure that this is that one. Yes, it is. Save settings. We'll leave it there. Build settings. And here's what we're going to do. Okay. So we need to change a thing or two. I go a little bit higher than most on correlation because people don't. So I went to moderate. Yesterday you saw me as 9 or 10, and I still stand by that 100%. All right. What else do we want to change? I don't think we need to necessarily change something. What I am going to do though is 3 lineups. I'm going to leave the 25% minimum of Jordan Poole. Let me just see I think I have Jordan Poole. Jordan Poole we'll put at 25. And who else do I have? I have somebody else at 25 who I put in earlier today. What did I click on here that's making this happen? All right, so let's see what happens if we just build based on that. So it's going to put Jordan Poole probably in one lineup, just FYI. You don't have to play Jordan Poole, but that's because I put the 25% exposure in. I want to know what happens with the Jordan Poole lineups because I think that I know I'm playing it, and I think some of you out there might be playing it as well. I know you guys like this running the SaberSim builds. I think it's really cool. Look. If you guys don't want a great product, we're selling SaberSim packages for literally the same price that SaberSim is. On top of that, you also get Sheets projections. You get Goldie's projections, which is the entire aggregate from the whole industry. You get all of my plays, whether or not you like my stuff or not. It's all there. You get all of Rhodey's plays for all of his sports. Brandon Cruz for NASCAR. Chan for esports. And this is basically, we're selling for within a couple dollars on every pack of the SaberSim pack. So I would really encourage you guys to check us out if you haven't already. We have some free trials available. Don't have all the details right here with me, but that's where I'm at. So let's see. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, it's really it's pretty crazy what we're offering, considering that the SaberSim packs themselves are literally almost the same exact price. All right, so let's get into it. Thanks, appreciate the kind words there, guys. Let's take a look at what they've got here. So they're heavy on the Washington situation too. Let's see. You got. Let's just see the exposure. What do they give us? So you got Kuzma in 2 out of the 3 lineups. Everybody else is sprinkled into one. Wait, why is it? Oh, I'm still stuck on the Washington thing. Never mind. Dude. What's happening here? Why did that happen? We have the builds out. It's the first time that's happened to me. I don't really understand what that is. Okay, let's just take a look at them then. So Kyle Anderson, Vucevic, Murray, Carter, Kuzma, Kispert, McBride, Garland. So they're using Garland as a differentiator there. Everybody else in this lineup build is fairly chalky. So, there's that. This is a very chalky build with, see, they're using my guy, Naz Reid, as a differentiator. Not a huge one, but again, those little ones make a difference. And they love that Vooch Carter pairing, it seems like. Vooch is in all of it. They just love Vooch. Hendricks, Murray, Kuzma, Johnson. So let's see, they went Murray all 3, right? And they got to 0 of Bogdanovich, which is kind of interesting because I do like Bogdanovich. They did Josh Hart in 1, McBride in all 3. Pretty interesting what we got there. Oh, I'm not filtered on any. Oh wait, hold on. What am I looking at? That's why I was doing it. Thank you, OG. I didn't realize that was the one. All the cool new SaberSim changes, but that one thing where I can barely see which one I'm clicked on, it always throws me every time. So let's just see the overall. Yeah, 100% of Murray, Vooch, and McBride, and then 2 out of 3 for Kuzma, Kispert, Carter, and then you get the Shamet, Hart, all these guys, just one of them. But you see how they did it with their build. They got like the one differentiator in each of their builds, and honestly, I forced the pool in there. So remember that one was not one that you were going to get to naturally from SaberSim. They were not going to give you Jordan Poole. Although in the early builds today, oddly enough, the first one I ran, they did throw Jordan Poole in it. Just double checking the starting lineups here. What do you mean they're ranked? I'm just sorting by exposure right now. I'm not sorting by anything else. But it's just interesting. Like they're going a little bit higher than I would have thought. It's a little less gambly than I am, but probably definitely a little safer. But I do like the builds, and these are 3 strong ones for the 888. Now I would not be playing these in like the $15 lottery or anything like that. I mean, you can include it if you're also playing at the 888. It's just so hard to win a tournament that size on a slate like this without taking a few more chances. And I think there's a lot of other ways to take chances today. No, I'm just sorting. OG, just please ignore. I'm not trying to sort anything. I'm getting. Oh, you're saying the lineups are ranked by Saber score. Oh yeah, I don't really care about that. I honestly could care less about the Saber score. It doesn't mean that much to me. I just wanted to see what it comes up with. I don't ever use these things. I do script when I'm playing like 100. I bet 150 in the $4 yesterday, but I'm not scripting today. I'm really trying, and you can see even the projected scores are like. I mean, it's sort of by projected score as well. Like it's the same thing. It's the same as the Saber score, 289.3. I'm hoping we can do a little better than that tonight. Personally, I need that 350 plus tonight. I think you're going to need that to win something. That's my personal take. I think it'll be maybe 33. No, I don't want to do all this stuff. I hate that stuff, OG. I see. That's my personal take. I know other people like it. I hate it. I want to actually not know the top ROI lineups. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do any of that. I don't want to do any of that stuff. That's not my strategy. I'm trying to use it as a reference point so we can help the people out there and see what SaberSim is saying. I'm going to do one more build before I get out of here, and I want to run one with I know, OG, you're much sharper with this stuff because you guys use this stuff a lot more than I do. I like to use it as a reference point. So you're sharper with it and sharper than some of our users are going to be with it because some people haven't done this before. So let's just, because I'm not going to be doing this. Actually, I probably am going to be doing this again. So let me get out of here for this, and we will run one more build. Actually, you know what? Yeah, let's add a sim, and we'll just do this one. Let's see what you get for the fadeaway before we get out of here. Give a little free trial of the SaberSim stuff. And by the way, OG, if I ever need somebody to explain, because I've seen you talk in Discord, if I ever need somebody to explain it, man, you are my guy because you seem to have it really sorted out, and I love that. I really think that those of you guys who've used this stuff for a long time know it a lot better than I do. I just know how I like to utilize it and what works for me. I think it's an amazing product. I think it gets better all the time. And even the organization, just being able to toggle around all of my different tournaments for every different sport, which I couldn't do before. It's just gotten so much easier for me to use. But I really do like to look at the things that I know that work for me. But yeah, Sheets is awesome at it, and OG, that's great. Like Sheets is literally like he's a master of this stuff, and his little slants. Hey man, they work. Oh, I messed up. I only built 3 lineups though. I don't need to build. Well, it's all right. Let's see what this says. I'll build 50 really quick before I get out of here because I want to just do what I can for you guys. 3 is not going to be enough. Come on, finish up. Thoughts on Grimes? I have 0 thoughts on Grimes. Here's my thought. I'm not playing him. No interest. Okay, let's do this. Let's do 20. Let's just see what it gives us. Wonder if you get 20. Who do you think? So let's take a bet, guys. Is DeJounte Murray going to be 100% in the? I don't think he will be. I don't think he'll be 100% of them. I don't think. You know what? Here's my hot take. SaberSim loves to give 100% of people. I don't think anybody gets 100%. That's my take. So 60% says Brendan. I think it's going to be 80%. 60 is probably a good guess, though. I think 80% because I think their projection for his ownership is a little too low. So that's the only thing I thought. All right, so let's see what we got here. You think 100? OG knows it better than I do. I'm going to trust OG on this one. The higher is probably going to be more accurate. Let's see what we got. And let's do this. Let's see the exposure. All right. 100%. Nailed it, OG. OG is the winner. 90% of this day, man, they love this Vooch play. 90% of the Vooch, 80% of the Kuzma, 65% of the McBride. A lot more of the Shamit in this one, huh? I mean, we only played 3 lineups, built 3 lineups in the other one. 60% Anderson. Wendell Carter, are we really thinking Wendell Carter is going to be 8.5? There's no way that happens. Wendell Carter is going to be like 18%, 20% owned. Let's see what else we got in here. Hendricks, they're using as a differentiator because of the ownership. Jordan Poole, 35% Jordan Poole. How about that? Saberson is spitting out Jordan Poole as well. So I'm not the only one. Oh yeah, with only 1 min unique. If I hit it at 3 min uniques, yeah, that would obviously be a little different. But I just wanted to show you guys a little bit of what it was saying. And these are the guys who it's got the most of. And use that information as you will. Please like before you get out of here. Sheets just updated his projections for those of you who are subscribers. And I'm going to be in the Discord. So good luck to us all tonight, and let's crush it.